And hello, Theresa. Thank you for joining me. How are
Oh, no,
you?
it's a pleasure, Catherine. I'm just so delighted, and it's a joy to be able to do this.
Brilliant. I'm very grateful. Um, so just start with your story then, really. Why did you pick me?
Well, you were already a PT coach for a really good friend of mine, and I'd sort of been hearing about you for a couple of years. And then at the start of the year, you popped up on the infamous Facebook, and I thought, do you know what? I'm going to give this a try. I need a change. I need somebody to give me a bit of a kick. But the thing that really spoke to me was not so much the PT side of what you do. It was the coaching side, because I was in a really low, dark place, and I just felt that I needed somebody to emotionally help me as well as nutritionally and physically.
Oh, wonderful. I'm glad that you felt that I was that person. That's giving me goosebumps hearing that. It means so much because that's kind of like where my passion is helping people like yourself. So, how did you find the program? What did you think?
Well, I won't deny it was a tough in places. So I think I signed up to it thinking, yeah, it'll be fine. I can do anything. It's all right. And Catherine's going to help me. And I'd focused so much on the mental, emotional side. So then when it all lands, and it's the fasting piece and the counting of the calories and putting on a few new different apps to help monitor where I was going. At first, I'll be honest, I was a bit daunted and was like, oh my God, what have I done? And then you gave me a pouch of Moa, and I was like, oh, what the hell is this? So the first week was a bit of a shock, but then I think anything is the first time you start. Everything's a shock until you get something new that is challenging you into your life. So the beginning was tough, but then by week two, I was completely embracing it, and I was like, no, I quite like this. And I loved the routine of getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning. Now, I've always been an early person, so that it wasn't, I was sort of a 6 o'clock person, so an earlier hour wasn't too much of a problem. The problem at first was eating so much food so early in the morning. And I was like, oh God, here we go. But then that started to work, and then doing the exercise, that was great. It fitted in with me walking the dog. And then by the time I got to where I work at 8 o'clock in the morning, I felt like I was, completely cooking on gas. I loved how I felt. The day was much more productive. And then when I came home, I was like eager for my tea. I was ready for that 12 hours, eager for my tea. And then my day was sort of done by 9 o'clock, but that wasn't a bad thing because I found I was sleeping much better. So I went to bed at 9 and then wasn't getting up till 5 and slept much, much better. And so the whole process, at the beginning stages, it was tough. Then I liked the routine. Then you get to the middle bit and you're like, oh, okay, now I'm trudging again. But constantly you were there, and you sort of knew how I was feeling before I told you. And I get a little message and I'm like, oh yeah, yeah, no, I'm all right, I'm doing it, I can do it, I can do it. So it was great. And by the end of it, I was in such a better place because you'd made me, for me, you knew what I needed, focusing on the emotional, and the rest sort of came. So it was good.
Oh, I'm so delighted. And so, how is it for you now moving forward with your life? Because it's a few weeks now since you've completed your plan. What's life like now? How is it different? Tell me.
So it's good. Life is good. So the things that I've stuck with is the early morning getting up at 5 o'clock. So I still do that and I love it. I find that that has taught me about grabbing my time. Some people call it the power hour, don't they? Um, it gives me my time before the rest of the day is sabotaged. So anybody that's listening to this that's got a family will know exactly what I'm talking about. Sometimes the minute you get up, there's somebody on your shirt tail saying, can you do this? Where's this? What's this? Where's that? How do I do this? Can I do this? Or you're telling them to do stuff. So I find that I get up at 5, I have 20 minutes just sat having a cup of hot water and lemon. Then the dog and I go and have a lovely walk. Then I come back and I do the few jobs that need doing. And I feel as though I've had my time. So then whatever happens in the rest of the day, it doesn't matter because my time's not been sabotaged. I've had it and I've really enjoyed it. So then I've kept up most days, not every day, but I've kept up most days doing the exercise with you. Although I tend to do it on a day behind because I do it at 6:30 rather than at 7. So I've kept up with that. The eating has sort of gone up and down and up and down. Some days I'm really good, but I find that what I've carried forward is routine and being grateful for that routine. So the looking at the positives in my life rather than the negatives, and that's the big bit that I needed to get out of what we did, and I did.
Oh, that's amazing. And the thing is, you've got the tools now, so you know how to manage it all now. You know how to manage your mood, you know how to manage your calories, you know how to manage your diet, and also now you're feeling happier and more relaxed. The whole thing will just happen in a natural process. It's like a one big compounding effect. So all you need to do is keep those amazing habits going, and you're going to find that this time next year you'll be in another different place as well. I am so delighted and so happy that you're smiling like that, because you really weren't when I first met you.
I think I'd forgotten how to smile when we first met, and
Yeah.
I didn't know how to, just paint my face on it and crack on. So no, it was just perfect for what I needed, and that emotional support really helped, and the piece about starting and ending each day being grateful and thankful was just you sort of think, God, I should know that. And I've always said, oh, I count my blessings all the time, but actually I don't think I was. I think they were just words that were coming out of my mouth. Whereas now I'm like, when I'm walking in the morning, and especially now the mornings are light, when you look up and you can see the beautiful trees with the backdrop of as the sun as it's coming up, it does take your breath away. Whereas before that, I would walk with my head down and not really be looking at anything and feeling very sorry for myself. So yeah, it was a big learning curve, and it's been a good one.
Oh, I'm delighted. Thank you, Theresa. That is smashing. And hopefully you'll continue to enjoy my exercises. And
Enjoy is not the right word.
it's great when it's over.
Yes, that's when I enjoy
Yeah,
it.
it is. It is. Well, thank you very much for doing this and sharing your experience. And you are an inspiration to others, without a doubt. Great stuff.